approaching, and that is the position we're currently in. What you got to say then, Jamer?
Well, I think we should start with obviously what rank we are and everything, to be honest.
All right, all right.
So, I mean, people can think we're mugs or not. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm feeling a little bit of a mug out of the top 100,000, but I don't think that is that bad.
Mm.
Um, I mean, yeah, I just see too much on Twitter, to be honest. And yeah, but anyway, so I am on 902 points overall, and my overall rank is 100,163. And my last game week points was 61.
My overall rank is 38,000. I have 930 points, and my last game week rank was also 61.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good score, that.
Nice, Gary.
So, yeah, it was pretty interesting week, to be fair.
For a midweek week,
Yeah,
which obviously was fearing going to be packed with rotation, which it was for the likes of Liverpool and Man City.
yeah. It was a weird one, though, don't you think? Because there was rotation. Some of it was expected, but some of it, people like Alonso played, who was expected to be rotated, and
I was
people like
surprised by that.
Salah didn't. And I was personally surprised that he didn't start that game.
100%. And the fact he only played 70 minutes in the Merseyside derby, and
Yeah,
it wasn't like they were winning either. I would have thought
yeah,
if
exactly.
he played 70, he would have definitely started that game. But obviously,
I mean,
yeah,
you've still got him in your team, don't you?
I do, yeah, but it's going to be his last game. Um,
Along those lines, by the looks of things.
yeah, one more game, which I mean, I don't even think is the easiest game. I do fancy goals. Um, yeah, I think that's yeah. Obviously, we all know how good Bournemouth are, regardless if we haven't had any of their assets. Um,
Yeah, well, both of us have.
I've
Both of us
never,
haven't had any of their assets all season, have we? Well,
which
I
I
had
think,
Josh King at the start, which obviously was just the wrong call, but
yeah, I just think yeah, we've missed absolute bucket load of points on that.
shitloads of points.
And it's even when Fraser looked like everyone brought him, and then after that massive haul he got
Oh yeah,
him to Leicester, he got one assist, then he ended up getting another two assists, and then he's just been yeah. Well, since that he's got five assists in I think like 8 games, which is or 9 games, which is not bad. It's actually really good for
it's
a
quite
6.3 midfielder. So
it's quite funny because all season I never usually have the mentality where I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna get him because I think like he can't keep this up. Like that's just like backwards to be thinking, oh, he's doing so well that I'm not gonna get him because he can't keep it up. But
yeah,
I don't know, it's something with them Bournemouth players that well, I'm still not getting them in this week. Like
I'm not either, which I just don't think you can. But then I say this every single week, and now it's even worse than what it was before in the fact they've got in the next five they've got United and Spurs away, and then obviously Liverpool at home Saturday. Then they've got obviously after this week they've got away to Wolves. That's a bit of a weird game. I don't even know where Wolves are at the minute. They turn
yeah,
over Chelsea and then they lose to Cardiff. Um, so yeah, it's just a bit excuse me up in the air.
yeah,
But the
it,
value is definitely there. I fully do not blame people getting them in. I mean, a fair play to people that have had him in from day one.
oh,
I
flying.
mean, or even just from that haul that he got, Fraser, for example, that 18, I still think you've got your money's worth by far.
Yeah,
Six
I
point.
agree.
There's not many people comparing with that. Probably Ricardison, but I think you can obviously a lot of people have both. So, and again, he's on 28% ownership, which is massive, and
Yeah,
it's
and Wilson on 40 now.
wow, that is
40.1.
that is
Bit of a
incredible.
joke.
So even when he does score now, Wilson, you are actually getting screwed by
Yeah,
your
just
overall
sinking.
rank. But another talking point, which obviously I'm very eager to talk about, is obviously, do we really care about our overall rank if we're going to win our mini league? Um, obviously, we're in a mini league together. Um,
with 7 of us in total, £100 a man. So it's quite competitive, as you can imagine.
Winner gets 5, second gets 2.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you can imagine obviously when it comes to the middle of May and that falls into your bank account. Yeah, as long as that happens, do you really care if you come in the top whatever thousand? I mean, and that's what we're going to move on to talk about is, I mean, I can definitely vouch for the fact that my transfers are affected by who's got what, not regarding on overall rank. And that's just purely in the mini league.
I mean, like
Um,
how you play. I know the obvious thing to say is the more points you get, then the better you're going to do in your mini league. Obviously, that's obvious, but does how your rivals do in your mini league, does that dictate the moves you do? For example, this week,
yeah, this week's a prime
yeah,
example.
I'm 25 points clear of second place, and second place has got a Bamiyang, and obviously he's going to captain him, which looks like it's going to be a good shout. We'll see in hindsight, but so my move is, even though I think it's a good shout, I've brought in a Bamiyang. However, if my rival wasn't going to have him and captain him, I know it's out of fear, but I would probably say it's a significant factor in my decision to get him in.
Yeah,
Very significant.
I think I would 100% agree. I do agree you need an Arsenal striker of him or Aubameyang, but the fact everyone has actually the three, so obviously I've got him in as well this week. I dodged him last week and got in Kane, which we both did. Um, and I think that if they didn't have Aubameyang and they had Lacazette, or they didn't have Lacazette or either, then yeah, well, I'd be going Lacazette just because I think he's better value. But because yeah, they've got Aubameyang in the mini league, I'm gonna go Aubameyang, and yeah, so it's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's going to be very interesting over the next couple of weeks, seeing how these Arsenal players do, because we do obviously, who did well the last week is always the hottest prospect and always the biggest talking point going into the forthcoming week. But I do, that makes me feel that these City players, like, they're just in a different league. They're so ridiculously good as a team that
Yeah, I totally
I
agree.
think we could, well, their fixtures are not really being spoken about too much, I feel, within the community. Um,
Mm.
but I think they're fantastic, really. You know what they can do at home. In 17-18, they've got Everton and Palace at home. That's just, wow. Everton
Yeah,
are a decent team, of course, but that just looks like a good prospect, to be honest. So I feel like if it wasn't for my eagerness in my mini league, would I just be getting Sané in instead? I've already got Sterling. Would I just be getting Sané in instead of Aubameyang?
I
Maybe.
totally agree. And I don't know if we actually speak about this enough in the on like for example, or sorry, if it's not spoken about enough on the community, sorry, the FPL the community on Twitter. And I mean, I listen to a few podcasts and obviously very good and very insightful. But my literally my thinking is all down to my mini league, and I
Maybe
think we need to talk
people,
about
yeah,
them a lot more. But then I don't know what the people. I think everyone plays fantasy for all different reasons, you know. And majority probably do play for that overall rank. But then I do think I don't really know
surely they're in the
anyone.
mini league as well, though.
Say that again.
Surely those people that play for overall rank, they must also be in mini leagues. It's not, well,
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if there's people who they're the only person in their like friend circle that plays FPL and they just play for overall rank. That would be like quite a
Yeah,
surprise.
there's got to be a wager on there, hasn't there? And the pride with your mates.
Yeah, well, that's for me.
That's
That's like
everything, isn't it?
by
That is
far the
everything.
most important thing.
Which I think doesn't get spoken about because even if there's, for example, for me, it's the risk element in going for that gamble. And I mean,
Yeah.
it depends how you want to play the game. I mean, if you want to go and like, I know that guy off the Fantasy Football Scout, Luke.
Oh yeah.
Like his moves are just purely who he, and it is I think fair play to him because I believe his ceiling on his overall rank is quite. He could go really, really high, and you see him some weeks going really, really good scores, and you see some weeks he doesn't. So
I know
uh,
what you mean. He is quite a bit different to the rest in
he is,
terms of he doesn't follow any kind of
yeah.
fashion or pattern, you could
But I
say.
think the mini league does sort of take that play completely out of, for example, my game because I'm just focusing on I'm playing against the people in that league, not against the 6 other million people.
Yeah, yeah, I
So
agree.
um,
It's a very interesting one.
it is, I think. And to be fair, my transfers this game week have been Aubameyang and Anderson for Hazard and Arnie.
And
And
I know this sounds like a big hindsight one, but I mean, we've said in must have been around game week 6 or 7 when one that game week when I took Aguero out for Kane, obviously with those two nice fixtures, Huddersfield and Cardiff, was it?
yeah, well, it's just Cardiff.
Yeah, Cardiff. You had him for both of them, and I was getting Aguero back in, and we. It sounds so stupid in hindsight, but I don't know why. Like I said to you, Sterling is going to explode, and if it wasn't for my mini league rivals all having Aguero,
Yeah,
I
and
wouldn't.
also,
It sounds like it's just pure hindsight, but
that's a very good example, I think, on where your gut just got completely overridden
it's
by.
fear. It's like it's such a weird thing to fear, but it is. It's just pure fear that Aguero would just explode, and he well
Yeah.
did all right.
I think the conclusion is we're not obviously going to ever win FPL, so you may as well actually just win your mini league and obviously, yeah, think about getting as good as rank as you can, but winning your mini league and having your pride over the summer is more important than coming 5,000, and
Yeah, for us anyway, for sure. Like,
I would like to know how many other people think about that, like do they, because like you do see like the mad rush, for example, Aubameyang, like you said, going from 10.8 or 10.9, no, 10.9 to 11.2 or
isn't he going up
11.3.
again tonight?
He is, yeah. So he's going to be 11.4. So,
That is a sick
so,
joke.
and you just have to say, all them people in the beginning that get him in, are they really looking at the people they're playing against in the mini league? I don't know. I think we do play a very safe game, but
Yeah,
um, I mean, we have been playing it a few years now, so we kind of know risk is very, very. It doesn't really pay off that often,
yeah,
but
I'm pretty boring to be fair.
I'm very boring. I mean, I had one captaincy blank all year, and that's when Kane blanked against Cardiff. And okay, I got a bit lucky last week with Hazard with the assist, but so they've all been around like Salah, Kane,
What's
Aguero.
your opinion moving forward on Aubameyang and Lacazette then? Since there are a lot of people talking about it this week.
Well, it's a very good point. I think the value. This is the thing. This is where I'm. This is such a weird thing, and I think I would enjoy people's opinions. I mean, a lot of people would say go with your gut. My gut move would have been Lacazette this week, and then I would have got Sané in,
Even though he's
Aguero.
not started for the last 3 games. I
Yeah,
know he's been injured, but
he was injured. I do think they were obviously tough games. They had
yeah,
the North London derby, and then they obviously had away at United. And I think they were games where they only really wanted to play one up top, really. And
yeah,
so, and obviously, Aubameyang was on really good form, and he just come back from injury. So I think that will change when they play the likes of Huddersfield and Southampton and Burnley. So, but
it
yeah,
just
no,
concerns me a little bit the fact that it's not like they don't have any more strikers. Do you know what I mean? So he's relying on these two guys for the whole season. So I can understand why he's a little bit careful not to
yeah, protective,
play
isn't he?
them both in every game. But
Yeah, no, I do agree, and that's the reason why I did. I saw this guy do a really good comparison on them both when they both played,
oh yeah,
and or when they were both fit. And I don't know, for some reason, I did just like Lacazette, just the fact he was down the middle. There was a time when Aubameyang was actually just being used in the Europa League, And Lacazette was literally the main guy in the Prem.
But you know what's so weird in those weeks you're talking about when those are the games where he came on for nearly 30 minutes in both of them and then just smashed it. Like
Yeah, yeah, that is true. I mean, what did he play like? I'm trying to actually look at it now. He played like
28 and 29 minutes.
yeah, 2 goals, like 140 minutes, and he scored 5 goals and 1 assist in like a game and a half. I mean, it's just mad.
Like part of me feels like we have been ignoring him or ignoring like Arsenal players all season. But how can you have a player in your team like that's gonna do that? Like it's so
Yeah,
it's
I do
not
agree.
gonna happen. Like if he gets 30 minutes, how many times is he going to be returning a 15, 12 pointer in 30 minutes?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I would think probably not again, but I think it was also because of the fact everyone had Aguero, so
Yeah, true.
he didn't, and that was exactly the same price as Aubameyang, and he was just starting every game week. He was scoring every game week. I mean, yeah, okay, he was probably just getting his 6 and 65 minutes, but you just always thought he could, get that hat trick or get that brace, and yeah. So, and occasionally I think he got 13 against a team a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks ago when Sterling went big. But so that's what I think everyone's just avoided Bamiyang. I mean, there's a guy in our mini league who's had a Bamiyang from day one, I think, since after the two hard games at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's actually gone from being like, yeah, non-existent to actually now contending because
He's got up like an 80-point gap, hasn't he, or something?
yeah, I would purely say that's down to Aubameyang
Yeah.
and probably maybe with the help of a couple of us because he definitely hasn't captained him, but it's definitely yeah, he got 43 points in 3 games, not straight after each other, but the Spurs Fulham Leicester game, and no one had him for them in our league. So
Yeah, that's true.
43, and he scored as well since then. But yeah, no,
Are
I
you,
think
so do you ever consider ownership already, like at this stage of the season, and not in terms of league, mini league, just overall ownership? Does that ever sway your
no,
decision?
not really. I mean, I would say it's a sort of a good indicator, but I've seen, for example, that Digne go up like quite a lot in ownership, and I've not really. I understand why people are getting him, but for me, yeah, I don't think it really affects my decision ownership. Again, I think I'm just purely just down to the fact of just my mini league.
Yeah, I agree, and I think we do probably differ there slightly to the maybe even the majority of people.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I don't know if it's spoken about enough, like the mini leagues, and I know they have that. I mean, there's loads of leagues. When you look at a lot of players they're all in loads of leagues, but
Yeah,
I
maybe they're
find
not
that
as like closely competitive as
yeah,
ours.
they're all like. I mean, you've got like the League of Doing Bits with um Van Arnhout. Like, is that really a league you care about? No.
No,
You've obviously got the FPL Scout one, and who got the assist, and it's just, are they actually
but
leagues where
then
you're gonna
I know
try
what
and
you mean because
other people?
obviously, like the best people, well, not like the best people because there's not really like the best people every year. But once you say if you're flying right now and you're ranked like in the top 100, then obviously you're just going to go join all these leagues, and then
Yeah,
they're just not competitive. So obviously, no one cares about them. But
yeah, yeah. No, I totally agree. Um, I mean, should we?
yeah, what else? What else have you?
I was just going to say about transfers, but I've already said my transfers. I've just taken out Arnie, which is a bit unfortunate. I thought he was going to do well. It's unfortunate he obviously got injured. We just got lucky enough to get his brace against, well, not that brace, sorry. His
That double,
first
yeah,
12-point drop against Burnley, and then yeah, he got an assist against Newcastle. So that was yeah, okay. 1 goal, 2 assists in 5. Not too bad. So yeah, I just wanted that another West Ham attacker in them 6 games they've got. and I like the look of Felipe Anderson. I was a little bit on edge about getting him in. He looks just streaky to me. I think he could probably turn up and get one or two, and then
Yeah, I would probably agree with that. I mean, I have also brought him in this week, Felipe Anderson. Well, put it this way, I definitely wouldn't have been interested in him if it wasn't for Arnie's injury.
yeah, it's interesting though because people were going on about doubling up with Arnie
Yeah,
at
we
home,
were, but what do you
and
reckon about that?
I couldn't do it. I couldn't double up on West Ham. I mean, I don't really rate West Ham to be honest. I think on their day, yeah, they could at home, or I think they can get some results, but I don't really think they're worth chucking two players at it. I mean, you're talking of 14 million, and I think you just need to be with them sort of players. Like you need to just get a bit of a more better portfolio with them sort of mid-table teams, likes of Richarlison, that Piera, Fraser. Just mix it up because if they play shocking, then you've just wasted 14 mil on West Ham. Whereas you could spend another on Bournemouth and Everton, who are looking quite good this year. So no, I'd never double up, but yeah, I've got Anderson in, and hopefully this Perez guy is just had that one game, and Chicharito can kind of just
I
plod
think they've
along.
been playing two up top a little bit though, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. Well, yeah, they have been starting obviously Chicharito and Arnie, so they probably will actually play both of them. And the
I don't
fact,
know how that's going to affect Anderson.
yeah, well, I know, well, they won. They scored three times, didn't they, against Cardiff, and he wasn't involved in anything. So
It's not great.
you'd have to say you'd expect him to be at least getting an assist if there's three goals
Yeah,
and five assists.
you would hope so, wouldn't you? I mean, I'm just a little bit concerned because I'm trying to look for the exact stats now, but like just knowing him from like European football and stuff, I know that he hasn't been like prolific. Anderson, this is I'm talking about. Like last year, he scored 4 goals, 7 assists in the league, so he's already outscored his total last year,
Yeah,
which year before 4 goals, 11 assists. So we're not talking about a guy who's got pedigree of being prolific. So doesn't
yeah,
fill me with confidence just bringing him in. But I mean, at the end of the day, he is in
7 mil.
form. The fixtures are undeniably good. So
Yeah, he's got 3 goals in 5 games, so I feel confident he can probably, if he was to do the same, I'd be more than happy.
oh,
Like,
absolutely. I mean,
even three, even like probably 2 goals in six, I would take that from him. I
yeah,
don't
I
know.
agree.
I think probably take that. But what do you think about Alonso then? A lot of talk about him being too much. I mean,
You
I'm just
know,
looked at him now and he's got 7 assists. And I mean, obviously 1 goal, but also 7 clean sheets. And
I
I,
feel like this gets talked about roughly every this conversation is like on a rotation about every 7 weeks, let's say 6 weeks.
I reckon less. I reckon every month.
I think it's a fucking joke, to be honest with you. I would go that far because I know it hurts when you get those shit scores. What's he? Well, obviously 0 last week,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
0, and then 6, and then 1 before that. But I know that's a
Yeah,
kick
but
in
what was
the face.
before
But
that?
this
Eight.
guy is like insane. Like I don't think he's really appreciated in what he does in in FPL terms. Like if you had a midfielder of 7.1 million who scored 93 points, you'd be
Well,
thinking they
no,
were like, I don't know, a
I
blessing from
totally
God,
agree.
let's say.
I totally
Jesus
agree. What?
reincarnated.
But yeah, we're going on about Fraser, and he's on 7 points less than him. So, and
Yeah,
how good the season has Hazard had, and he's just a point ahead.
yeah.
So
I
I
just think
totally agree.
you,
I think
you
Alonso is he's not leaving my team, and I don't think he will unless he gets a long term injury. I think people need to really. I understand, yeah, attacking returns and one attacking return, but you just know when you take him out. I hope they do take him out when they actually talk about him like this, because when they take him out, you know what he's gonna do, and he can do it against anyone. I mean, he nearly got, didn't he get 19 points against Spurs last year?
Yeah,
Something.
scored twice. And the year before, he scored twice against Leicester.
So he can score, like he scored and got an assist against Arsenal. Like he can do ridiculous things against pretty much anyone.
Yeah,
So I really, really don't understand why people, yeah. And he's 7 million. Okay, 7 million, but he gets the clean sheets. He's actually got 8 attacking returns in 15. So it's 1 in 2. You're gonna get an attacking return. 1 in 2. I'm sorry, but if a striker was to get a goal every like 2 games for 7 mil, you'd be jumping at the chance to get him in your team. Plus, then he's got 7 assists, clean sheets on top of this.
yeah,
So, and that's the equivalent of a goal for a striker. So, I just don't get it. I really don't get it.
no. I just think you need to appreciate patience in this game, and a lot of the time, I definitely don't, and I think a lot of people don't. And this is just a guy that's he's just gonna tick along.
He will take long.
He'll get, I don't know, 170 points, let's say, maybe more. And before, like, he'll just do it quietly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
yeah, like
exactly.
you said, he can explode like he has done in the past, but the reason he gets 170 points probably isn't because he explodes. It's because of those eights, eights and nines he gets when he just gets that an assist or
Mm.
clean sheet and bonus. And I don't
The,
know. I
inter-
just think he's
the
great.
interesting thing is that he got his best ever bonus was last year, and he got 15 bonus points last year. He's already on 14 bonus points,
Wow.
and we're just
Yeah,
proofing.
that is a dramatic change.
So he's actually, and this is also a talking point what we like as well as bonus points.
Yeah,
It's
love a bonus point over here.
so so important, and you do again. This is a big question mark as to why I've got Mohamed Salah in my team. If I'm talking about I love bonus points, I have actually got the only two he's got this year, but yeah, I mean Salah again. We could start talking about Salah. Why not? I mean,
Oh, just before we do, can I just add on about Alonso? I know that it doesn't work
and
as
he's your favorite FPL player of all time.
he is, so I'm not biased at all. But I just like
And
to
you're not a Chelsea fan, are you?
no, not at all. Not the
All right, that's fine.
Okay, can you just let me add a second
That's
that
fine.
if I know it doesn't work out like this, but let's just on the points average he's getting, he's he's averaging he is averaging 6.2 points per game, which would mean if he keeps up how he's performing at the moment, he'd be get on at 235 points for the season.
Jesus,
That's a lot of points. He's
a
never got
lot.
more than 177. So he's
Yeah,
outperforming it better than he ever has been.
yeah. I must admit, when I saw him at the beginning of the year when he was 6.5, I think I said on our group chat this would be the cheapest he'll ever be.
Mm.
Actually, I think I brought him in for the Newcastle game. I missed his first two.
Yeah, you got to admit a good time though.
Yeah, and he was 6.6 then, I believe. And I actually said to him, and this will be the cheapest you'll see Alonso. And he's not actually gone down at all. He's just gone up all the way up to 7.1 now. And yeah, he's just gonna just be one of them players you just have to keep for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
Simple.
I completely agree. Did you want to add about Salah since you've got him in your team?
I do, and I'm very. I mean, I'm not actually that excited about having him. I think obviously I will be swapping him for Sterling. That's my one transfer I'm probably gonna do. I'm not gonna do a hit for anyone else.
This is
Um,
next week, you're thinking.
this is next week, yeah, going into game week 17. At the minute, I've actually got no City strikers or midfielders, which is making me quite ill. I've got Laporte, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, Salah's coming out. He's just not. He's just not. He's consistent. Don't get me wrong. And he is returning, but it's just not big enough for me again. So he's just got one double haul all year, which was at home to Cardiff. When's he next going to be doing that? I can't see it happening for a while. And yeah, his just bonus is an issue. If you chucked on a couple of points bonus in a few of these 8s and 9s he got, made him in 11s and
Oh yeah,
10s, they just so much better. And if it was the likes of someone like Hazard scores, he gets 3 points bonus. So, and that's just such a big gain, I think, and
it's
such
when you got them captain and you're getting them free bonus. It really is significant.
it's so significant because it's a 6 point drop. And again, like we refer to back to the mini league, that could be 6 points your opponent hasn't got, which is massive. It's like a goal from a defender, which is rare. So, like we had from Kane this week, when he got that assist, you just knew that he was going to then get
The bonus.
the bonus. And I mean, yeah. So Salah, I'm not got any. I'm not saying I won't have him again. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
just saying I think Liverpool's games get really tough. They've got a massive game in the week against Napoli. So his minutes will probably be limited again against Bournemouth.
yeah.
Um, so if they're winning comfortably, which I don't know if they will be, but yeah, well,
I don't know about you, but I just feel like this season, like something has changed with Liverpool's attack, and I don't think it's necessarily that they're not like clicking or anything. Maybe it's like tactical instruction from Klopp, just not to be as like gung ho. Like we've seen over the last 3 years, they have been a pretty crazy team, you could say. Like
yeah,
some unbelievable attacking displays, but getting caught out of the back pretty regularly.
yeah, they've just. I think it's just their defense has just improved massively.
But
I
don't you
didn't.
think there must maybe have been some instructions like let's not press as high quite as much, or let's not? I
Oh,
don't
for
know,
sure.
but I feel like that's limiting their attackers a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. And that, yeah, he's not like scoring. I mean, yeah, okay, he got 15 points against Cardiff. Yeah, you'd be annoyed if he didn't get a double haul at that home game. I think the whole world had him as captain.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, it's just there's better value. There's so much better value out there at the minute. You see these players like Jimenez and Wilson getting their 7s and 8s. You look at defenders like the attacking returns, like for example Doherty, and I mean even with Charleston's there. Like there's just so much value everywhere.
yeah, and for me, I think
He does change.
the only way a player of that price can really justify their price tag is when you're captaining them and you're getting that double value. And
I
looking
totally agree.
forward, I don't see when I would want to captain him. Maybe not until game week 23, Palace at home.
Yeah,
So for me, that's why he left my team 2 weeks ago. I don't see the value. He's not smashing it as much this year. He's still doing very good, you'd have to say.
even then, when they're at home to Palace, you've got Man City at Huddersfield and Spurs at Fulham. So
Yeah, well, that's a great point. I mean,
there you'd have Sterling and Kane still in your
if
team.
they're still performing well, then yeah, I would go for either of them over Salah. So yeah, if you're not captaining, then I don't quite see the value. So I
What
think
about Kane this week then? Because you're not going to captain Kane. You're going to put the armband on Aubameyang. Do you
no,
have?
that's a fair shout. I mean, yeah, I don't think you. I know it's a little bit contradictory, but you don't need to captain the player like every week if you feel like you're getting that to feel like you're getting that value. But
Yeah, you can't do. You don't have to do it
no,
religiously, do you? If they actually do have a tougher game, like I do think. I don't think Leicester's like a tough game, but I think it's definitely harder than
no.
Huddersfield at
And I
home.
think it is very significant that they've got that pretty much must-win game midweek against Barcelona.
Yeah, that is also. Yeah, that's a very good point.
And I know Kane rarely ever misses any minutes, but you would feel like after this bit of a fixture pilot we've just had and a must win coming up midweek, if there was a time when Kane's gonna get a come off at 70 or something, I know it's well, you would just say it would be this week. Like I can't see any other time where
Yeah,
Harry Kane.
even if it wasn't that one at home to Burnley, because that would be a nice. I think there's a lot of captaincy choices on game week 17. You got Kane at home to Burnley, Aubameyang away at Southampton, and then you've got. Hang on, let me just check Sterling. Sterling's at home to Everton. It's
Yeah,
actually ridiculous. I wouldn't put anyone off them three.
no, neither would I.
Mine is probably going to be Kane. I will have Sterling, I think, but I just think Burnley are really, really poor. And
Yeah,
Everton don't look too bad this year.
sorry?
Everton don't look too bad this year, so
No, but
they should have.
City are just like
Yeah,
insanely good. I would probably lean towards Kane as well, but yeah, it's a difficult one, especially because, like I just said about that midweek game, and if Sterling gets rested in the Europa League, sorry, Europa League, if Sterling gets rested in their Champions League game since they're already qualified, then that might be him fresh for Everton. I don't know.
yeah, that is true. I just think, yeah, mine is going to be Kane for that. I've got it already. Yeah, just in my mind, and I'm just not going to choose otherwise. So, I think we need to start giving this bloke a bit of praise.
Who's that?
Fabianski.
Oh,
Got his first name there. Oh yeah, Lucas.
Lukey.
God.
Lucas, spelt with the an S and a Z.
God, look at that. I can't get more Polish if he tried, could he?
No, he couldn't.
But yeah, so I'll start first. So yeah, I've actually I can't believe this. So I had basically started with De Gea in my team as a goalie. Obviously thinking United were going to be boring but keep clean sheets. Switch it to Hart, so I only get what? Oh, sorry, I only got one clean sheet off De Gea, and I ended up only getting one clean sheet off Hart in the first 13 game weeks.
Oh,
Um, so I had two clean sheets out of 13 from my goalies, which is really, really shite. And then in 2 game weeks, I've literally had a clean sheet from Fabianski, which was an 8 drop, which was a 1 point bonus plus saves, and then the penalty save, and then a 1 point bonus and save. So, and obviously they conceded in the 90th minute to the awful Cardiff, and it was the worst, scrappiest guy I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything quite like
even
it.
a Cardiff fan.
I'm not a Cardiff fan. The in-laws are
Oh,
Cardiff fans. The
right.
future in-laws,
Oh, all right.
future potential in-laws
Oh,
are Cardiff.
yeah.
But
I just think if you're shopping in that 4.5 bracket, there's no competition right now.
I totally agree. I think it's a short conversation on Fabianski. I just think he is just nailed on. Even when West Ham's games do toughen up a little bit, I don't see any major swing in getting him out, to be honest. They actually turn a little bit bad, but then it's just the saves, and the saves are just so important. For 3 saves and you get a point, I think that's a great bit of business.
Yeah, I agree.
He's made 60 saves already this year, so he's got an extra 20 points.
I mean, just looking, he's the joint highest scoring 4.5 goalie, and he's only made 2 clean sheets, and I think that says a lot.
Joke. I've never really rated it. I've literally just thought I'm not sorry, rated it. I've never really put so much focus in saves at all. I think we've heard people like, for example, Jonty talk about it quite a lot.
Don't you mean Joe?
Pardon?
Don't you mean Joe?
Sorry, Joe. Yeah. Nah, he's always Jonty.
It'll always be Jonty to us.
Yeah, we've been there from day one. Um, yeah, so he always used to bang on about the saves.
Yeah,
And
he did, to be fair.
he actually said how the FPL have actually got it wrong, that Fabianski's 4.5. I totally agree. I think he's 5, easily a 5 mil. Goalkeeper, considering you've got the Newcastle goalie as 5. You got
Yeah, that's a joke.
Michael 5. I think that's just still a hangover price from when they won the league. Who else is there? That's 5s. Obviously, De Gea. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, in the minute that's
Pickford's 5.
yeah. You just got them sort of then teams that they think are going to finish in the top half 5 mil, and that extra 0.5 can be well spent.
Especially when he's a better option.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not
not
even
like
that.
you're getting anything less for 0.5 less either.
like Fabianski will score more points than any of them 5 mil goalkeepers, in my opinion. Even
I
though
agree.
Pickford is actually above him at the minute. Um, yeah, I think he's a great
He
shout.
has made 2 pen saves, which I know is not saying like taking anything from him, but I agree with you. I think Fabianski will be the highest scoring keeper
Yeah,
outside of the 5.5s and above.
interesting. Yeah,
It is, isn't it?
it's interesting. I was just looking at Pickford's made 17 less saves than Fabianski, which
Really?
yeah. How many
So
points is that extra? That's an extra what? 5 points? Yeah, because you get 6 if you got 18. So
it's those matches where he saved the pen. They also kept a clean sheet in one of them.
oh, so did he get a big drop? Did he
Yeah,
Pickford?
15 drop, and then they got the 11 drop the
Oh,
next game.
oh yeah. Wow. Oh yeah, he saved the Paris United, didn't he? Pogba.
Yeah,
And
that
then
shit run
Pogba
up.
had a year to take.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this time of the year. It's just mad, isn't it? We've had
Love it.
every day my mind is just thinking about the team at the minute, and it's just thick and fast. Like even when you get a week break, you just it's fine. If you know what transfer you're gonna make, even if you don't, you've just still got about 3 or 4 days to
Yeah,
chill.
I think it's going to be quite interesting this week to see if there will be much rotation because I feel like most people are feeling like it was going to be midweek where the rotation was, and I think in general they're right. But I mean, I'm a bit twitchy about Aubameyang starting.
Oh, that's not good to hear, mate.
It's not, is it? I'm sorry to bring that news to you
I don't know why
or
you
opinion to you.
why you think that because they don't really play in the week.
No, I don't think he will. But yeah, maybe it's a bit of doubt with nothing to back it up. But I just feel like he's already shown this year that he's willing to only play one striker and save the other one. And so is he really going to need to play two strikers at home to Huddersfield?
No, probably not. Well, he doesn't need to. Well, no, definitely doesn't. I don't know if Huddersfield to get smashed nowadays. They're looking a little bit tighter than
Yeah, they've had a good month. You're right.
normal. But yeah, I just think again got him in because he's on fire and everyone else has got him in my mini league. Personally, if I was to literally not have a mini league and I was to be a little bit risky, I'd go Lacazette and Sané, which has been just in my mind for quite some time. And but anyway, it's over. It's done now. There's no point.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I wasn't a pussy, I would have got in Sané instead of Aubameyang and doubled up on that City midfield, and I still might at some point. But hey ho, let's see. This time tomorrow, we might be very happy.
Because you got to look at actually City's games. They're really good. There's up until well, I say I'm fancying. Look, they got 25 and 26. They got Arsenal at home and then Chelsea at home.
But
Which
the
okay
thing
is
is, even that. Oh, sorry, I think you're about to say it, but yeah,
yeah. I don't even think that's like that tough for them. I still think they could score 5 or 6 in them 2 games.
I agree.
So yeah, that's not tough, is it?
I
Or,
just think we're really witnessing a team that, well, they're just. It's hard not to call them the best Premier League team, the best team in the last like 10 years, really.
no, I totally agree.
So maybe we don't really appreciate them as much as we should do.
No, I don't think we do.
You were saying
Um,
to me earlier today, you were referring back to that Liverpool season when they were absolutely flying under Brendan Rodgers and they nearly won the league. And
yeah,
you obviously had the triple up Suarez, Sturridge,
Sterling.
and Sterling. And I know we were dealing then with players of a lot cheaper price, especially with the Sterling, obviously. But I think if you can afford to squeeze as many of them City players in as possible, then
It's interesting that Aguero is meant to be back on the 15th of December, but his minutes are going to be so managed.
yeah,
Going to be he's going to take at least 3 or 4 games to start even starting a game. I think he'll just come on for 20 minutes, half an hour.
yeah, I know what you mean. He's
So
my Aubameyang escape route if I feel like pulling the parachute.
yeah, I think so too. Or I might go to Lacazette and then upgrade one of my midfielders like Felipe Anderson and actually just go Sané and have Sterling and just do the move that I wanted to do, really. But
It sounds so shit when you put it like that, but I'm in the same boat.
it'll be in those circumstances where I think, yeah, things will be different now. You have to have a Bamiyang for this week. Yeah, you just have to.
It's mainly as well because there isn't actually many other captain choices that really get you like
Yeah,
excited.
and the captaincy is something that obviously is so important, I think. And yeah, we both agree on it. Just it
Yeah,
makes the week. Like, look what separated us from the rest this week. It was Harry Kane,
yeah.
had a captain, and we ended up both getting 61. And in our other min league, the next best was 40.
That's
So
the difference.
21, and okay, that was a differential captain. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't bring in Kane then and then get in.
But many people did it, didn't they? A lot of people went Aubameyang over Kane for that run.
How many people brought in Kane compared to Aubameyang? Yes. Did more people bring in Aubameyang away at United than Kane at home to Southampton? Because I'll be
Uh,
amazed if that's true. How many
uh,
people?
510,000 brought him in.
What, Aubameyang?
Yeah, that's net transfers. So yeah,
Wow.
Aubameyang. Do you want to check Kane?
Oh, yeah, Kane is on 290.
Oh my God! So more people brought in Aubameyang.
Yeah. Well, more like
Double.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Wow. I
That's
don't really know what to say about that.
that's absolutely incredible.
I
But then
think so as
again,
well.
yeah, maybe they're not going to play two up top. Maybe people think that the likes of Ericsson, Son, and Ali are going to match Kane over this period, which I very
Yeah,
much hope.
I mean, I feel like Son, it could probably do the closest if he was going to play 90 minutes, if he was going to the same amount of minutes as Kane, I think he could come close to him. But I don't, he's not going to. He's got more Lamella and Sissoko that could be rotated with him, so that's just not going to be the case.
Yeah, and I think that actually Pochettino does kind of actually change his squad to who he plays.
Yeah,
He can really like switch it up, and he does. So he's not bothered about benching Son or I think Ericsson will play obviously every minute. I doubt he'll ever be on the bench, so he'll be your like consistency sort of go-to man. I mean, he's got 4 assists in 3 games since he's been back.
that is good. You're just not going to captain any of these guys, though, are you?
You're not, and that's the big thing about it. Like, I even think to myself, would I captain Lacazette? And I think that's a stupid question because I think, of course, I should.
Mm,
But
I know what you mean. I would have some reservations.
I mean, his highest haul is 12 this year, and that's fine for a captain.
Yeah, that is fine.
I mean, what's Kane's biggest? 13.
Yeah, it's just when you know that they've done it before, isn't it? It really gives you that reassurance.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. Um, yeah, I don't know really what else there is to discuss.
Yeah, I think that might be everything for this week on this week's conference call.
I think there's like obviously late, not expecting a huge demand of listeners or
No,
feedback, but if there is anything, if anyone out there does listen,
yeah, give us some kind of interaction or something, because it's the first time we've done this. We know we're not no big shit. We're just having a chat with each other about our teams and thought some people might want to have a listen. So simple as that.
Yep.
Hit us up on Twitter, FPL Totes. Thanks very much. If you have a listen to this,
Right. Adios.
cheers. Over and out.